Okay, so this short video is about my rag sheets. What are they, what I expect you to do with them, and how they can absolutely positively work for you in the future. So let's get started. So this is just an example of a rag sheet. Essentially, it is a list of statements that go with every topic in our course, and at the bottom of it, it gets a word bank. So what are the relevant words in the topic? There are three things or three levels to you and using a rag sheet. The first one is this. If you decide that you are red, it means you have absolutely no idea of what that statement means in any way, shape, or form. One that's better is if you decide you're amber. It means you've got some clue. You might not know absolutely everything, but you know a little something. And then there is green. You absolutely positively know the answer to the statement. Easy peasy lemon squeeze. In terms of the way the rag is set up, you will see that there are these little columns over here on the right hand side. This is the end of lesson column, and what that means is if I give you rags 1 to 3, I am expecting you to fill in these little 3 columns right here at the end of lesson for your homework. End of topic would be if we have a revision day, you go back to your rag sheet, you go through the statements, and you're going to fill in this part. And then revision. Revision could mean Christmas tests, summer tests, getting ready for your pre's, but the idea is that you keep the rag sheets, you know what the statements are, and you use it for yourself. With every list of statements comes a word bank. These would be the most important words to do with the topic, and again, if you can understand those and you can write a definition for each one of those, you will be laughing all the way to the bank. This glue me in may or may not be on every rag sheet, but essentially what it's asking you to do is keep this thing safe. I have kids that will come up in pre's and looking for a rag sheet. I didn't miss, I lost this one. Please, can I have this one? It's up to you to keep them safe. Everything gets put onto Edmodo for you, so you always have it electronically, and I will do my very best to give you a paper copy of every rag sheet for every topic that we do. So this is what it would be. There'll obviously be a little bit more to some of your homeworks, but it would look something like this. I want you to do rags 1 to 3 for homework. What is it that I expect for you to do? For starters, we're looking at this column and we're looking at these 3 little rows here. And you have to decide, am I red, am I amber, or am I green? If you decide you are green, what does that mean you do in that little particular cell back here? So green, if I decide I'm green for this one, what is it that I'm going to do? Well, you might decide you're of the smiley face variety, and you might draw in a little smiley face for yourself so that you know when you look at your page, yeah, I know this particular answer to this particular question. You might decide I don't like smiley faces, but you know what, I have a green pen, I'm going to write a letter G in here for myself so I will know when I look back that I was green on this one. Or I might decide to color in the cell completely. Usually I find with lovely ladies, they are great, they always have colored pens with them so they are able to fill in on the colors. If you're amber, what would you do? Well, again, if you're the smiley face persuasion, you might decide to have what I call a blah face. You're neither happy nor sad, you're sitting on the fence. You might decide with the highlighter to write a letter A, or you might decide to fill in the whole cell with your yellow highlighter. So straight away you have a visual. I am not so good on this particular question. Now, I'm going to give you 20 seconds to scribble down what you think the options could be for red in terms of smiley face, in terms of letter, in terms of color. What would you do? What would be your options? So let's see if you were right. If you decide you are red for a statement, you would put in a super sad little, not quite smiley face, sad face. You might decide to, with a red pen, put in a letter or you might decide to color in the whole cell red. So straight away you are going to have an absolute visual. So I'm going to do some coloring in here. I might have decided that for this I am red. I absolutely don't know it. What's another name for a living thing? I might decide that I am going to be absolutely positively for this guy a green, and then for this Mrs. Gren, ooh, kind of know some of them, kind of don't. It'll all make sense when we start on the topic, so I'm going to make this one amber. Now, realistically, I'm a color in the whole cell type of girl. I just don't have the space to do that at this moment, so I've just gone for a Very, very simple. Alrighty, so if you are green for everything, if you filled in rags 1 to 3 and you are green on your page, then you can go straight to the next part. If for some reason you have some ambers and reds in there, which may happen, then you've got to go and find the answers to the statements before you go on to the next part. It means you have to open your book or load it up on your tablet, and you need to see, can you find the answers? The best places to go will be the summary part at the back of every chapter, or have a look at in the text. For highlighted boxes, there's going to be stuff in there that's going to give you the right direction that you need to go with your answers. So again, I just go back to this. This doesn't really come into its own until I get to the end of the topic, but again, you can go through it and say, right, can I come up with something from the lesson that we just did today to do with these? It's all about reinforcing what it is you know and giving you confidence in yourself. The last little part of your rag notes is going to be in your notes copy, nice and neat, topic of in this case living things. You are going to write an answer for every statement, and in my little ideal world of showing how great you are going to be green at this point. This means you don't need to look at a book to write the answer. You can just write the answer to the statement. So for 1, I would write out biology means, and I would put the answer to that statement after it. I would write out number 2, another name for a living thing is, put the answer to that statement. Number 3, Mrs. Gren stands for, and write the answers to that statement. I would then make sure that I absolutely positively have left room on my page for the rest of the rag notes for this topic. Okay, you need to find a way to get that information into your head. So you either say it to yourself, you rewrite it out, you do something. We will talk about ways in further lessons. So that is it all for now. Take the quiz, see where we're at. Have fun.